So you're struggling at Rocket League and you play this game on a daily basis trying to get better, but nothing ever seems to work. So you go out on YouTube and you watch these big time YouTubers who are telling you, here's what you should do because it's working for me. But what they don't understand is everybody's different at Rocket League and we all have different play styles. So it may work for them, but it ain't going to work for you sometimes. So I'm going to try a little bit of a reverse tactic and say, here is some things that you shouldn't do in Rocket League, wrong ways to play Rocket League. And these are tips coming from an all-star. Now, I'm going to say these tips and hopefully in a non-hypocritical way because I struggle with these tips on a daily basis almost, but I'm getting better. And these things have actually helped me. And like I said, I'm not trying to be a hypocrite saying like, here's things that they shouldn't do. I'm just saying here's some pretty common sense stuff that I witness when I'm playing Rocket League. Now, these days, I don't really play Rocket League that much without Artsy. I barely play solo. I barely play anything. I basically just play 2v2s competitive and 2v2s regular just with Artsy. And that's basically how I just play Rocket League these days. So when I'm playing Rocket League, though, these are some things that I witness from other players that make them, lose or do bad. So I'm going to give you guys a few tips, and hopefully these tips may help you. Now, one of the big things that I'm going to say, if you're trying to play competitive, is don't focus on your rank. Now, this is something I struggle with, a lot because I'm always trying to be better. I'm always trying to look good. But what you don't understand and what I had to learn really fast was the more you focus on your rank, the more you're actually going to lose because you're trying to just be the top dog and you're not really focusing on how you're playing. You're just trying to focus on the win. And what that does for you is even if you are winning and you're getting up in those higher ranks, when you start playing good teams, when you start playing actually good people, you're going to fail because you're just trying to focus on rank, and these guys are actually just playing because they're really good. And you're not really going to learn much because these guys are out there practicing and they went through trial and error, one loss, and they finally kind of figured it out and learned, and that's how they got where you are or where, they are. And then you're over here, newbie, and you don't know, they could be faster, they could be better and more accurate and everything, and you're just over here like, oh, I just won, I'm all of a sudden a shooting star going up against superstars and I'm going to get totally killed. And that's one of the biggest things that I've learned, and I still struggle with that because, yeah, I understand, like, you hate losing, you never want to lose, it's one of the worst things, but what I've learned is you have to go through trial and error. You have to lose to win. And most of the days when I'm playing with Artsy in competitive, I mean, literally this is how it goes. We lose a couple games, and then we'll win like 5 in a row, and we'll lose one. So, like, we'll have to sometimes even drop a whole, like, tier. I mean, we'll be, like, shooting stars and drop down to Rising Star or whatever it is. I think it's Rising Star, shooting star. I don't really know. But we'll drop down, like, a whole tier, go into Division 4, and then climb back up and finish the night, like, Division 3 in the next, in the next tier. I mean, we'll win like that many games to get back up there. So that's one of the things that I've learned is you have to go through trial and error. And when you're playing these better people, the bonus of winning and going up against better people, because we've gone up against champions before, we've gone up against superstars. We go up against superstars a lot. But what we learn, I mean, we usually get annihilated by these people because they're fast and they're better, they're more accurate and all that kind of stuff. And we've learned, though, playing these people, it's helped us become faster. It's helped us become more accurate. It's helped us become, better at the game. And so that's what I've learned. Like, when you're playing these good people, don't look at it like you're getting cremated 7-1 or something, and you're getting ticked off because we're losing, we're bad, this and that. They're so fast, this and that. Like, I understand it could be a little frustrating, but losing that game, it's going to make you better. You're going to climb back up. And the more you play those champions and lose, it's going to help you, and you're going to come back. So that's one of my biggest things, wrong ways to play Rocket League, is don't focus on your rank. If you're playing competitive, if you're playing, regulars, then I understand, like, you just play to play. But I'm talking about competitive here because they're obviously out there trying to search for ways to get better at Rocket League. The second thing that I'm going to say is pretty common sense stuff, like don't go for every aerial. I've said this in my 5 things you shouldn't do in Rocket League. Like, don't go for every aerial. Don't follow your teammate. If you're not in a party, or even if you are in a party, because I've witnessed it, people follow each other way too close all the time, and it may work for you at times, but when you go up against those high ranks, and trust me when I say this, when you go up against those high ranks, if you guys are over there following each other. These guys know what they're doing, especially if they're in a party. They know what they're doing. One guy's always going to somehow stay center. He's going to be super fast, so even if he did screw up, he's going to be center almost immediately, and you're going to just be like, what? How did he get there so fast? You know what I mean? So one guy will always seem like he's center. The other guy will always be, passing, and you're going to be over here following each other. You make one wrong mistake, and all of a sudden they've scored on you, and it's going to be downhill from there, because the more they score on you, the more you're just going to be like, oh, whatever, I don't care, and you're going to drop. You know what I mean? So that's the things. Like, don't follow each other too close. Don't go for stupid aerials. You want to go for aerials that could set up a pass, not for the bad guys. And I have a problem with that too. Like, I consider myself a passer for my, Artsy and I, between us. So I always have the habit of passing it, and I got to learn to know where the ball is going to land and get it to not go center all the time, because Artsy will go for it, he'll miss it, and then I end up, I'm screwed up too. We're both screwed up. We're on their side of the goal. They have all the time in the world to score a goal, and we've made that mistake I don't know how many times, but that's something we have to work on, and that's another one. So that's number 2. And number 3 is boost management. I have to say this is pretty important. I struggle with this because I'm always trying to be faster, and being fast doesn't mean you have to be, have all the boosts in the world. I mean, a lot of people will be like, oh, all you got to do is just go tell those, things, the purple things are on the bottom of your wheels, which is correct. But there's also ways to go a lot faster in Rocket League. Like, I always try to, tell Artsy this, but it's really hard to, change your play style. But you got to, go at an angle. And like if you're playing with a controller, you go like the right corner or left corner, top corner of your thumbstick will cause you to go, faster than going forward, because this is kind of like a gravity-based game, and if you go forward, the boost is going to push you back. So you really want to focus on boost management and try to save a lot of your boost and pick up the pods. Like a lot of people think you can't do much with 12 boost. And you actually can. You can do a lot with 12, 8, 24. Like you don't need full 100 boost to make plays in this game. All you got to do is try to screw up your teammate and be accurate and score. And that's basically it. You just want to, save your boost, and it'll help you a lot. So these are pretty much things, like I said, that I still struggle with, but these are the things that I've come to find, the biggest one, like I said, is just don't focus on your rank. That's probably the biggest thing. And it's true. Going training and learn your play style, figure out your camera settings. One thing that I have to say is try not to play like anybody else and like the pros or something. Like, learn your own play style, like don't follow camera settings from somebody else. Maybe do that and switch it up so it makes you feel a little bit better, or it makes you feel more comfortable or something. But you don't want to like totally copy somebody, because when you're doing that, you're playing their play style, and they know how that plays, and you're out of luck. You're in bad shape there. So try to figure out your own play style, and I'm trying to give you guys tips and maybe things that could help you not be like, hey, play like me. I'm just saying, like, here's things that are gonna make you a little bit better when you're playing like high rank teams if you get up to that point. But like I've learned that it takes over 10,000 hours, pretty close to master something truly, and nobody's going to want to sit here and play Rocket League for 10,000 hours, and I doubt anybody in the world has more than 10,000 hours on this game. But you can learn something. You just had to go through a lot of trial and error. And so that's probably one of the biggest things, but everything else I said in this video is really important too. You can't forget that stuff. It's really going to help you. And trust me, guys, this is coming from an all-star. I'm not, a superstar, grand champion, whatever, but I have climbed the ranks recently here, and I know I have a good teammate, but I've gotten better through these tips. And so I hope these guys help you as much as they did actually help me. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions or concerns, or you guys have anything that I missed, maybe that's helped you, leave it down in the comment section below, because I'd love to hear it. And maybe, soon or someday I can make another video about this if you guys are still struggling. I love, I'll try to my best to reply to all the comments. I usually do, even on my one video that has over 400 comments, I reply to a lot of them unless they're like dogging me down or something. But you guys get my point, okay? I'm not trying to go on and ramble here, but like I said, if you guys have anything, just let me know down in the comments below. But This has been Wrong Ways to Play Rocket League. I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Goldbolt, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.